Hello, everyone. This is your host, Doreen Fulton, and I am delighted to introduce you to my friend and colleague, Mary Dirksen. Mary and I are both contributing authors to Pebbles in the Pond, and I am so happy to be joining her this afternoon and also to be rippling with her in the pond, hoping that we will send out love and encouragement to you. Mary is very special in so many ways. We connected face to face in March for the first time, and then we got together in May and further got to know each other. Mary is a dear heart. She is a woman with lots of wisdom, and this wisdom came from unexpected places. Let me tell you a little bit about Mary before we get into our conversation. Mary is a mother who lost her children in a custody battle with her husband. Needless to say, it was a very devastating period in Mary's life. And she struggled and unexpectedly discovered her passion and purpose in this trauma. Today, she is helping other moms recover from the trauma of losing their children through similar circumstances. Mary struggled and then decided to go back to school in 1995. She earned her bachelor's degree in organizational management from Bluffton College in Ohio. And for the next 16 years, she gained hands-on experience working as a leader, counselor, consultant, and caregivers in various capacities. In 2001, Mary received her MBA from Wright State University, and she began her greatest journey. And she discovered who she was and how she could transmute this experience of losing her children in this custody battle to actually moving forward into a rich and fulfilling life. Today, she is fully charged, fully beautiful, and fully capable of sharing her journey with other moms. So Mary, welcome to today's program, and please, if you would, tell us a little bit about what you are doing today and how you are moving forward beyond Pebbles in the Pond.
Well, thank you for that introduction, Doreen. You were just so sweet. I really appreciate that, and acknowledging me for the things that I've done in my past through my experiences. What I'm doing now, and what you probably, well, you didn't mention it, is that I was working in the workforce for quite a number of years during all of this, when I had my kids, when I didn't have my kids, and when my kids grew up and, we moved on. But I was in the workforce, and a little over a year ago, I decided to retire from that because I had been thinking about what my true passion was, and I did want to move forward and do something fulfilling with my life. And I couldn't think of anything that I was more passionate about than and could resonate with is mothers that lost custody of their children. One thing that I have discovered by talking to these mothers is that even though all of our stories are so different from one another, we still go through the same emotional trauma that we have. We all experience those feelings in different periods. It's an emotional roller coaster, but we all have the same feelings and emotions. start working with these women, and I started blogging and talking to them in private Facebook groups and some other groups with mothers without custody, and we've done a lot of communicating, and now I'm in the process of developing a training program to work with these mothers to help them get through in all capacities, whether they are getting ready to go through a custody battle because of a divorce or for whatever reason that they may lose custody of their children. They are right in the middle of it. They've already lost the custody and it's happening to them right now. Or if it happened to them many years ago and the kids are grown, but they're still dealing with some of the emotion. They still carry that baggage and it affects other areas of their lives. So what I'm doing now is I'm working as a life coach with these people and, like I said, developing this training program as well.
I think that is so fabulous, Mary. Certainly, knowing how these moms feel in the loss of their children and realizing that it isn't something that you exactly understand all of the circumstances, but the emotions of being on that roller coaster at various times in the whole process is something that I'm sure is very much needed. I know that at different times when I've faced my biggest challenges, I have discovered that I really wasn't alone, even though I felt it at that point in time. And so these moms might be really sort of out there struggling in some way or another. And how do they find you, Mary?
Well, I like how you pointed out that they feel alone, because in the case of a mother who loses custody, you get this really big feeling that everybody is looking at you like you did something wrong and you're a bad mother. And because of that, you're a little bit humiliated and you carry some shame with that. So it's not something we talk about. And when we don't talk about it, nobody knows that we're going through that. And some mothers might even feel like they don't want to mention that they have kids because they don't want to get into that conversation and trying to defend themselves. So we really do become alone. Not that there isn't other people out there, but we don't know who they are because we're not talking. We're not telling who we are. So that's where that feeling of aloneness comes from when you're all there. It's just not talked about. How people can find me is I do have a website, and it's marydirksen.com. It's MaryDirksen.com. That's my website. And you can reach me by email by mary@marydirksen.com. And I also have a phone number, 419-516-4918. That they can call a message. And hopefully, if somebody that knows somebody going through it and they can be the in-between person, maybe they can give them the contact information. But because I don't know where the people are, I try to become the lighthouse where maybe they can find me.
That's fabulous. Like a beacon.
Yes.
And a lighthouse. Yes, I see you, Mary, in that capacity. And it's lovely, lovely that you mentioned that these moms feel a bit humiliated and isolated, and they don't necessarily think that there are other people out there that are like them or who are facing the same sort of challenges.
Yes, they're feeling very judged and criticized. And I know in my case, I know how I felt about certain people in their situations before I became one of them. I already had some thoughts about that without knowing the underlying situation. And because of that, I know people thought that about me too. And I put those thoughts in my own head because at the time I knew that's what they were thinking about me. And yet I knew better. I knew I wasn't a bad mother. But
that's right. And one of the things that I really want people to realize, and moms who might be listening to our conversation, Mary, is that while this time in your life when you lost custody of the children was very challenging, you didn't let it keep you down. Meaning, I know that part of your story is that you went back to school and you reestablished that connection with your children, and today your relationship with them is very, very strong. So I think that that's a message that I really want to share with the other moms out there, that just because it's hard right now doesn't mean that life is over, or that somebody gets to write the ending of your book. That you can actually put things into place that will be good for you and your family.
Yes, one message I would like to get across is that you're never helpless. Can't do anything. In my case, I wanted to fight. I wanted to get back, and at the same time, I didn't feel like I was, what if I didn't win? And I had those very negative feelings. I thought about death. I thought about it, but the reason that I stopped thinking about that almost immediately was because I thought, what if my kids did come back to me and I wasn't there for them? And what would they think of me if I wasn't there, if I gave up? Because I felt like that was giving up. So I made myself deal with it, because that possibility is always there. I didn't know if they were going to be coming back or when, if they did. I had no way of knowing that. But just the fact that it was possible made me keep trying. The other thing that I wanted to do more than anything is not make my kids feel guilty, because they chose to go live with their father when they were old enough to do that. And they had their own reasons for doing that. It was not about me, even though I like to think that. We try to make everything that happens about us. And it's very difficult to look beyond that. But I knew that it wasn't their fault, that they should not have ever been put in a position where they had to choose like that. But since they did choose, I didn't want them to feel guilty about that. So I really had to be strong in how I was when I was with my kids. When I did get visitation with the kids, it was amazing how much that I realized that I took for granted when they were already with me, when they were always there. And when I'm very limited on how much time that I can spend with them, I made sure I didn't take it for granted. And it was really kind of funny, because I never told the kids that, but they looked at it the same way. They didn't take it for granted. And we just had the most awesome time in those times when we had visitation. We didn't waste any of it. It was all about me and my kids. It was not about, I'm going to spend time making supper while they go do whatever. They didn't even watch television while they were with me. It was really everything I did. They did it with me, and if I went somewhere, they went with me. We did not take it for granted. And we really, my kids are grown now with kids of their own, and all my relationship with my grandkids, they make sure, and I know it's about my kids because geographically they don't live close to me, so I don't see them all the time like other grandparents. But whenever I do see them, it's like we live together. They've known me it's really close, it's really tight, and I know it was my kids that helped provide that attitude to my grandchildren. And we have an awesome time. We have so much fun together. We allow each other to speak what they are feeling, be open about it. We don't try to hide anything, and we're all very independent. We don't try to control each other. It's just a great relationship. I just really love it. So my message is to tell you that it is possible. Do not even consider giving up. It's as long as that possibility is there, you need to give it all you have. If you're having troubles and you're struggling with how do you go about doing that, I would love it if you called me. I do offer a 45-minute free consultation with anybody that reaches me, and we can talk and see if we're a good fit. And if we're not, that's fine. I'll know it right away, and I think you will know it too. But I can always connect anybody that calls me with someone else. I can kind of steer them in the right direction if I'm not the person for them, because not all of us talk to each other the same way. But we can contact with other ways, and different groups that they can join other people. But you are not alone.
Mary, thank you so very much. I love what you are offering to these moms. I think that your personal experience, your success through it all, will really be quite encouraging and helpful, motivating, and I really thank you for being with me this afternoon. I will be sharing this interview in a blog post. I will make sure that the moms out there have your contact information so that they realize that there is help and inspiration and success at the other end of this traumatic experience.
Thank you, Doreen. I really appreciate that. And I would like to add that it's not just my own experience that I've learned from, but it's the other mothers who have gone through it too, and talking with them. But even more than that, it's people like you, Doreen, and some of the other people, especially the people from the Pebbles in the Pond book, because they've had such transformational experiences. But some other people that have really been a major effect in my life have really helped me step up and, in what I want to call improving my own self-development and move a step higher. But all of you who have helped me get where I'm at, I'd just like to be one of those people in other people's lives, because I know they're going to hear a lot of people. None of us singly help anybody through their path. We do it as just one person in their path. And I would like to help somebody take that next step.
Well, I am quite convinced that you will, Mary. You will continue to step up and share the special information that only you can share. And I love it that you have contacts with lots of other people and groups. Not everybody will be helped in the same way, and yet you are a facilitator, a wonderful life coach, and a true friend of mine. So thank you, Mary.
Well, thank you. And I just appreciate people like you and the other people that are on there so much, that just being a life coach, in my opinion, is for me in my heart, it's my way of paying back. It's my way of showing my appreciation and my gratitude of all the people that have helped me on my way. And I thank you especially, Doreen. You have really been terrific in my life. A big part of my life. I appreciate that. It may be only a small amount of time, but it was a big portion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Have a wonderful afternoon. We'll be in touch soon.
Bye now.
Bye.
Are we off?
I am going to cut it off right now.